So here we are. I'm at the last stages of my long goodbye in terms of retirement. Not the last week, but it feels like the exit door is there looming. If my life was a sci-fi film, this is the bit that I'm in the airlock and they're just closing the door as I put on my spacesuit and do the final preparations. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. I'm that stage, yeah? I'm at that stage of things. So I've been to the office twice this week, which basically is more times than I've been all year. And it's quite interesting because it made me realise a few things. I was specifically in the office to have meetings about handing over my projects, which in itself was very satisfying. And it makes me feel, if I'm going to use that analogy of the sort of sci-fi movie in the airlock, it feels like, yeah, I'm finally about to leave the mothership. There's something immensely satisfying about handing over projects, knowing that in a way, I'm never going to have to worry about that project ever again. And to be honest, I've just got a couple of things that I've promised I would wrap up, which hopefully I'll do by today, or if not early next week, even though I'm on vacation next week. And then that's it really. It's really just the last week, which is me having a goodbye meal and saying goodbye to people, because there's been no work to do. So effectively this Friday, today, because I'm away next week, is my actual sort of last proper working week. And it's interesting going into the office, made me realise a few things. I mean, there's the obvious things, like I'm definitely not going to miss the commute. Not that I was commuting, but yeah, sitting on the tube with everybody else, round about rush hour. Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not going to miss that. And even being in the office, it made me realise how disengaged I've become. Now, this is driven by a few things. Obviously, I know I'm retiring, and that's, been the focus on my mind for a few weeks. And it's like knowing you've got a long holiday coming or something like that, except this is a holiday with no end. Well, apart from the end, a bit depressing that. But yeah, I noticed how, in a way, working from home has kind of helped or will help or aid the exit process. To be honest, I was a little surprised because despite me not liking going into the office and enjoying working from home, going into the office and meeting a few colleagues, and I went out for a burger with a good friend from work, it kind of did make me a little sad. Not so sad that I would be regretting my decision and all of that. It did make me think I'm going to miss a few elements of this, without a shadow of a doubt. But it also made me realise that working from home for this length of time, and, in my case, I've really pushed the boundaries of working from home because, strictly speaking, we're meant to be in the office at least 2 days a week. And, well, let's just say I've not clocked up those 2 days a week. My boss has been fine with it, really, because I get the work done. But anyway, the point is, by not being in the office, I kind of have disengaged somewhat. And yes, that's partly driven by the fact that I know I'm now retiring. But even before that, I felt I was becoming more and more disengaged. I did a whole video about quietly quitting. And part of that was like, as a product of working from home and finding my job pretty straightforward, not mundane, but like I could do it in my sleep, that effectively it was like, well, why put the effort in if I'm doing this on automatic? If you could do a job in your sleep, as it were, not literally in my sleep, but you know what I mean? If you can do a job in your sleep, why put that extra effort in? Anyway, I did a whole video on that, and that's not what this is about. But the point is, going into the office this week actually made me realise how sort of disengaged I had become. I still attend the meetings, I still get involved, but I've kind of been less outspoken in meetings than I used to be. Always had an amusing quip here and there, always happy to impart a bit of wisdom here and there, but that's become less and less, and I've very much follow the lines. Unless you've got something really productive or that's going to add to the conversation, just keep your mouth shut. There's plenty of other people in those meetings who will add things just for the sake that they get some kind of attention, and it doesn't actually add anything to the productivity of the meeting. But anyway, you know the kind of people I'm talking about. When you're feeling disengaged, if you're one of those people that are a bit more outgoing or that always pipe up at meetings and stuff like that, you kind of do it less and less. And I'd noticed I'd been doing that anyway, only contributing when I knew I could add real value. A lesson to be learned for everyone. But seeing people so engaged in work, which I guess you have to be, because otherwise that way madness lies. In order to get through your job, I think you do have to engage with it. Otherwise it can be brutally depressing if you're just not engaged with your job. So being engaged with your job is not only important, if you like your job and all of that, but even if you don't like your job, I think being engaged with it makes it bearable. And so what this made me realise, and this whole disengagement with the job, knowing that I'm retiring, but even elements of disengagement before I decided that I was going to retire, what it made me realise is that in a way it's going to help this whole retirement process. Because as I said, going into the office did give me a few sort of nostalgic feelings in a kind of weird way. A sort of a sense that, yeah, you know what? I kind of miss those old days when we all were in the office 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, in a kind of nostalgic, rose-tinted way. I know it's rose-tinted. I mean, I'd much prefer not to be working in the office. I'm absolutely, totally on board with my decision to retire and all of that. But it just stirred a few memories popping into the office, and I think I kind of will miss it. But at the same time, because I've been so distant and disengaged, working from home, and not that, in touch with the people. I mean, the amount of people that came past me, old friends, old colleagues, the words got out. Oh, I hear you're leaving. Oh my God. Wow, I've just heard you're leaving. Is this true? Blah, blah, how are you feeling, etc. You lucky bastard, all that kind of stuff. You don't get that when you work from home. You don't get the office passers-by. You don't get the door stepping, which can be annoying sometimes. As soon as I was in the office on Monday, a colleague came up to me and went, "Oh, you're pretty good at IT, aren't you, Clive? I'm having problems with these files." I mean, look, mate, I don't work in the IT department. Yeah, I might know a thing or two, but yeah, it's those kind of doorstepping that you kind of like, really? It's not even work related, like specific to our job related. Anyway, the point is, I'm trying to make, rambling here, the point is, this disengagement that I've been feeling over the last few years, which has been sort of partly fueled by working from home and refusing to go into the office on the mandatory now 2 to 3 days a week, made me realise that actually retiring, stepping through the airlock doors, leaving the mothership, will hopefully be a lot more of an easy journey, an easier experience, as opposed to those people who, work Monday to Friday in the office every day. Maybe they manage a team, maybe they're part of a bigger team, and get involved every day, and then you retire and like a guillotine, gone. All of that habits, the work habits, the routines, even the commuting in itself is a kind of routine that's suddenly gone. And even if you don't like those routines, they're part of what makes things familiar in your life. And all of that is suddenly gone, yeah? And you're just sat at home thinking, well, what am I going to do now? Feeling totally disenfranchised. Suddenly, not socialising with work colleagues and all of those. And in a way, I've slowly but surely extracted myself from all of that already. I don't have the commute. I don't have regular coffee chats at the coffee bar in the morning. I don't get door stopped by colleagues and stuff. I don't go to the social events and all of that. And I've not really done that, for the last two years. And yes, part of that disenfranchisement, that disengagement has sort of fueled my retirement thoughts, and my retirement thoughts have fueled that disengagement. So it's sort of circular. But at the same time, it did make me realise, popping into the office this week, that I think the process and the change, retirement being such a dramatic change in your life, as I've said before on this channel, it's like marriage, like moving house, like changing job, but perhaps even greater than that. It's a major life-changing event. I think the fact that I have been working from home and not really being in the office is going to make the process a lot easier. I certainly hope so. I've talked before on this channel about, my emotions and how am I going to feel and am I going to be motivated, and yet do I want to get too motivated about something else? And the more I think about it and the more advice and comments that I get on my channel. It's like when you retire, from people who've already done it, they kind of say, sort of, you grow into it, yeah? You just let it grow round you in a way and get used to it, and you find you find you in retirement. It's all right having an idea of what retirement will be like, but until you're living it, until you're wearing the shoes, as it were, of retirement, you don't really know how it's going to feel. So don't be too uptight about it and all of that. So yeah, this week is really my sort of last final proper working week, as I said, and I'm on holiday next week, and then that's it. I'm popping into the office one last time, handing over my IT, my laptop and my lanyard for one last time, going out for lunch with a few chosen colleagues that I've kind of worked with over the many, many years I've been there. And then, yeah, that's kind of going to be it, other than wrapping a few things up for the last few days from home, which, come on, it's going to be next to nothing. Then that'll be it. And as I've said before, not with a bang, but with a whimper. As I said, this whole kind of feeling of disengagement that I've kind of felt over the last few years, partly or reinforced by the fact that I work from home, is going to hopefully make the process as I step out of the airlock and finally leave the mothership and enter into the unknown a lot easier. So yeah, we really are in the depths of the exit phase of my retirement from work. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, as ever, in the comments down below. I really love reading the comments, and I try to get back to as many people and reply to them and stuff like that. It's really great to see people are engaging with the channel and these thoughts. And obviously, I'll be keeping you up to date on that last week and that last day of retirement. So if you're interested, make sure you hit that subscribe button and toggle that notification bell, and that way you'll know when I upload videos just like this. Of course, make sure you like the video, because that always helps, because I like it, YouTube likes it, and it helps people like you find content just like this. And talking of content just like this, why don't you check out the videos right here? These ones here. I think you'll like them. Anyway, thanks for watching.